Baron Corbin says wrestling fans are morons who don't understand heat. Mr. Corbin, allow me to educate you for a moment. There are two different types of heat. There are heel heat because you're being a good villain, and there is get off of my TV heat. You have get off of my TV heat. Now, I know as a wrestling superstar, you encounter probably quite a lot of moronic fans, but let me explain to you why I am not an arrogant fan. I am not an arrogant fan because I can sit here and validate my opinion. I've also been watching for 15 plus years, so I would think that I have a pretty good idea of what I'm talking about. Wrestlemania, set to be a two-night special with Rob Gronkowski hosting and in multiple locations. I don't really know how I feel about that, but we're going to talk about it. Jeff Hardy is coming back and using his old theme song, and Todd Gurley is looking for a revamp as he signs with the Atlanta Falcons. Stay right here. Go nowhere. Baron Corbin, and I just read this article online. Baron Corbin is stating that wrestling fans are stupid morons who don't understand heat. Now, if there's any company that we know shits on their fans more than WWE, please let me know, because WWE shits on their fans every chance that they get. Now, a lot of times the fans are complaining about moronic things, and there are quite, and I mean a large group of wrestling fans that are very, very non-intelligent, okay? There's a difference between not knowing and just not being intelligent. I see a lot of stupid wrestling fans. I know a couple of them personally. I wouldn't say they're stupid because they're my friends, and I don't think that they're stupid. I just think that if they're able to validate their opinion, they're not stupid. They just see it differently than I do, okay? First off, I mentioned in the intro there are two types of heat, okay? There is go-away heat, and that is something that Roman Reigns and Baron Corbin both had in common. And there is heel heat. Heel heat, MJF in AEW, right? MJF has heel heat, okay? That is, you're playing a good character, but we can't stand you because you're obnoxious and you do stupid things. But you're good at what you do. Get off of my TV heat is we don't want to see you in any type of segment. We don't want to see you wrestling. We don't want to see you anywhere in the establishment because you're not good, and they need to stop you before you do something super stupid, okay? Roman Reigns had it for 4 years. They tried to push him as the top guy. Didn't work. Cancer happened, unfortunately, to Roman Reigns. Thankfully, he recovered. Okay? That's a plus. Now, Roman Reigns being taken away from the main event was a good thing for a while. And he started to become a little bit more skilled, not so much in the ring, but on the microphone, and he was just a little bit more bearable. That is why, we've kind of haven't said too much about Roman Reigns. Now, he has the Universal title match against Goldberg at WrestleMania, which I'm fully expecting him to win because there'd be no reason for him not to win. And I don't even think I would hate to see him win because I'd much rather him be a champion than Goldberg, even though I do not like Roman Reigns really in the main event at all. But that was go-away heat, and that lasted for quite a few years. What's another example? Eva Marie was go-away heat, okay? Not good. You don't want go-away heat, okay? You want heel heat, okay? Chris Jericho, heel heat. MJF, heel heat, okay? When he had his run before Kofi Kingston, Daniel Bryan, heel heat, okay? That's what you want. Randy Orton, heel heat, okay? You don't want go-away heat, and Mr. Corbin, that is what you have, okay? Now, I may just be someone behind an electronic device image, and I have no value of opinion, but as a wrestling fan, believe it or not, we do have an opinion that holds value. And not all of us are dumb and idiots. If we tell you something you don't want to hear, tough shit, okay? Now, the next topic is the most important topic of the video. WrestleMania is setting up to have a 2-night event. Now, first off, in the current setting that WrestleMania is in, I don't want to see it more than once. I want to see it have one long-winded show, get it over with. Because that's kind of how I feel about WrestleMania, and I hate to say it. I want it to happen, but I want it to get over with. I don't want it to happen in the circumstances that it's in. Again, the coronavirus is not any wrestlers, or it's not any of their fault, and I do respect their commitment with going on to the shows. but their commitment could have been even better to make the show better and delay it. What happens in the summer if this is still going on? Cross that bridge when you get there, okay? You can't worry about what hasn't happened yet, but you need to do the best you can because WrestleMania is your moneymaker, right? WrestleMania is the show that generates the highest grossing value of any event in wrestling, travelers from all over the world, and that's not a possibility right now. So just settling and just giving people something to watch is your first problem, and a lot of people have that mentality, something to watch. It's not something to watch. It should be the show of shows, okay? The card was built up nice, the coronavirus threw them a curveball, and now they're just saying, oh, screw it, we're still going to go on with it anyway. No, it's not what you do. That is not what you do. Then we get the news, I believe 2 days ago, maybe last night, WrestleMania is going to be a 2-night special. Okay, so the idea here, and I kind of understand a little bit of why they did this. The idea here is to have wrestlers be in a situation where they can't be exposed to another as much, and it would minimize the amount of human contact in the same day. I kind of understand that, so you would probably have 4 or 5 matches on night 1, and then 4 or 5 matches on night 2. They also completely eliminated the battle royals. That was absolutely what needed to happen, especially with all the protocols for the coronavirus and all of the people saying that we need to minimize how many people are in a room. You can't have 30 guys in a ring sweating and just breathing all over each other, okay? And the battle royals in WrestleMania hold no value anyway, so who are we fooling, right? Okay? Now, they eliminated that, and it's a 2-night special. So it's slated for April 4th to start at Saturday, 7. I'm going to assume that it's probably going to run till 10 on the first night. And the second night, same thing, a repeat, 7 to 10. It makes me, I don't really understand it. I understand the aspect of wanting to minimize contact. But, being like, oh, I watched WrestleMania tonight. Oh, but it was part 1. It's still coming. It's kind of cool from the aspect of you watch a show and then it's like, oh, it's not over yet. But just from the standpoint of kind of just watching it and then being like, oh, okay, there's a night 2. I feel like it takes something away from it. Now, again, 7 or 8 hours of anything is way too much. But just the standpoint of separating it from separating it to avoid the contact. I understand that standpoint of it, canceling the battle royals. Again, the battle royals have never meant anything of any importance at any WrestleMania ever. So I understand that. And the other part of it is that they're set to do this from multiple locations. Now, again, I don't know if that's another thing they're trying to do where on night 1, X amount of wrestlers are going to be at this venue and they're going to perform here. And in night 2, there's going to be the other wrestlers at the other venue. Again, to minimize how many people you have in one setting. I understand that aspect of it. WrestleMania 2, I haven't watched every WrestleMania. That's something I actually plan on doing at some point. WrestleMania 2 had the same standpoint where they had multiple locations, and it was just crazy. And it's just crazy to think how this has happened. First, they do no fans. Now they're doing no fans. Now they're doing 2 nights. Now they're doing 2 nights at multiple locations. WrestleMania 36 is going to be all over the place. But I don't like the idea of a double night. But at the same time, it gives you a chance for a breather. And it also not only gives you a chance for a breather, it gives you the opportunity to see something you've never seen before. This is going to be one of those where we talk about it in a long, long time from now. Yeah, WrestleMania 36 was one for the books, and a lot is going on. Again, I don't really know, and the other aspect of it is Rob Gronkowski hosting. I mean, it's just going to be a bunch of cringeworthy segments. I mean, I no disrespect to Gronkowski, great football player, but I don't need to see him in any type of wrestling capacity, to be honest with you. He's actually tonight, in a couple hours, he's supposed to be on SmackDown, so we don't know what we're going to see from that. I hope that SmackDown does not make the same mistake they did last week, and they elect to have, what's the word for it? They elect to have something different. Please do not give us a rerun of the Women's Royal Rumble. Just do something innovative. You saw how AEW on Wednesday, they got it down. They have it. Luke Harper, the Exalted One, Matt Hardy coming out the end of the show. That was a great show, and there was nobody there. Imagine the pop they would have got if they had an audience at that show. Okay, so that's kind of one of the things. I hope SmackDown gets it right tonight. We got the Reigns and Goldberg contract signing. We know that's just going to end in a brawl. When does any contract signing ever not end in a brawl? But that's one of the things I want to talk about. I hope SmackDown does the right thing tonight. They really got to just try to do what they can. I know it's a shitty situation, but there's so much more that you can get out of that. Jeff Hardy analysis, and this was something I found scrolling through Google, that he's going to be using his old theme song, and I love it, because No More Words was a great theme song that Jeff Hardy had, and, you know, there's no need to really use the Hardy theme anymore. They're not together. They're not even in the same company. Matt Hardy is in AEW now, and that's great because Matt Hardy will thrive in AEW, and Jeff Hardy's in WWE, so there's no Hardy boys right now, and I think that that's what Jeff needs to do, is have his own theme. It was a great theme. We all liked it, so that's kind of where he's going with that. Jeff Hardy's going to have his old theme song back, and that is good news. Let's switch it over to the NFL. Two signings. I forgot to mention one in the intro. The first one is Todd Gurley. Now, we've known Todd Gurley has had his knee issues in the past. He was probably deemed to be the best running back in the league at one point for the LA Rams, St. Louis Rams at the time. And he had his knee issue, arthritis, and he just wasn't able to play to the capacity that he has. He will now take his talents elsewhere. Todd Gurley will be the running back for the Atlanta Falcons going forward, and I think that that's a good team for him because the Atlanta Falcons' high-powered offense is definitely going to suit someone like Todd Gurley, and I think it's a good place, a good change of scenery to try and bounce back and revitalize his career, which is, you know, he's still young, he still has years left, and hopefully we get the best out of him. You know, you have that explosive offense in Atlanta. If they bolster their defense, you know, the Atlanta played a lot better in the second half of the season, but we need to see, you know, Todd Gurley get this bounce back. Melvin Gordon is moving on. The Chargers are really going to find themselves in a tough position right now. You know, quarterback position, now running back, but I don't think it's as bad of a position as you think because Austin Eckler is a good running back that doesn't get that credit. So Melvin Gordon is going to the Broncos. Now the Broncos will have multiple running backs to run with, and it will bolster their team. Joe Flacco also moved on for the Broncos after failing a physical. I do think Drew Lock is the quarterback for the Broncos going forward, but it's going to be interesting to see. Free agency is still kind of looming, but all of the big names are pretty much signed. A lot of them we don't know where they're going. We don't know where Jameis Winston's going, and just different things like that. I do appreciate everybody watching. I think after today I'm going to take not a hiatus, but just a day or two off from YouTube. I've been uploading so much stuff, and I don't want to spam everybody's social media, but it's the best way to get you out there. Keep subscribing, keep following, and more skits to come.